prefer to be silent on that.
That's the genesis. They've placed tourism down because they are not aware. In some countries, tourism is the best of the best. The tourism minister sits in the kitchen cabinet. That tells you the thinking. That tells you the product. But here, tourism is not even, they say grade A, grade B, grade C, then tourism is in others. We don't even have a minister of tourism, so to speak. Tourism is attached to two other massive ministries, large ones at that. So we are all in it. By the time we decide to be serious, our culture will advance because we'll support what we have. Government alone cannot do it because tourism is even private sector driven in the real sense. But the enabling environment must come from the government. It is government that should give us road to a point that people will go to develop. You can't give yourself light or electricity, road, pipe-borne water, and you collapse. So it's a general problem caused by imperialism and lack of government will because of lack of knowledge. Gambia is just here. All green areas, any tourism you want to do, tourism enterprise, they give you money free. They give you gestation period before you start paying. But look at our green areas. They keep carving it and selling it to cohorts, to friends. No green area again in Abuja. Very few before they were there. So that is a problem we'll discuss on another day. But it is not one person. It is not one solution. It will be a multifaceted solution through collaboration that we are doing now. Because if we share the awareness, you go home, do your own. I go to Nahoto, do my own. If those does his own, we'll close the gap. Because tourism and culture, in short, culture is the strength of Nigerian tourism. If you look at our biodiversity, ethnic diversity, and cultural diversity. Finish. You've gone to Agu Fishing Festival. Later you see another festival of it that is almost getting bigger. So we have it in excess, but we don't have what it takes yet. Down to what you're saying, there's no magic with Nahoto. There's no magic with Nura Sani Kangiwa.
Now, this is your response to my question.
Yes.
What's up? Because Nahoto keeps rolling it up.
It is what we are saying now. Exactly what we are doing now. You watch the paper I read. He said no one agency, no one individual, no one person will do this. You have to synergize. You have to galvanize so that we'll make it. Things that were happening in Nahoto are supposed to happen a long time ago. I'm not a greenhorn. But the point is that the man, the center, takes from people now. Proposal, memos, requests that will come previously and will be trashed and no longer trashed. Because he knows that he doesn't know it.
That's a good point to clap for the DG, you know?
He believes that he can. Professionals are coming to Nahoto. This is not the first time they're coming. Apart from few people that have benefited, most people have not done that. So the magic is that he knows that tourism is so big a venture to be hijacked by an individual or a group. It will collapse. It cannot work. That's why anything we do today, you see all the organs, all the facets of tourism clamor to be there. Not because we have money, because we share the same concept that tourism must advance. Secondly, he knows, from where he's coming. So that knowledge is very key. Because if he doesn't have the knowledge, before he can process it, time will not be to his advantage. But they are coming, is aligning them to his experience he was doing before. It is the two things. There are other, somehow, we've invested in training. Most of the hands we sent for training are back. But that's a little bit because even if they are back and they are not used, they can do magic. But that is internal strength. Now we have people now in various areas of travel, trade, tourism, and hospitality that are more now advanced in terms of knowledge going forward. Thank you.
A round of applause to the Director of Tourism. Thank you very much for answering my question eventually. And let me say this. Nahoto didn't call us for one meeting before they endorsed this event. We sent a letter and we got a response. It didn't take 1 week for them to endorse this event. So please, audience, jam your hands together and celebrate for me, the Director General of Nahoto. Alaji Nora Sori can go. Now, my next question is to you, Honorable Quadri. How can we, going forward, leveraging on the experience and the comment of Ambassador Lamide here, that Ashofi and Ashoke has become his brand? How can we get more young people to look in this direction? Because for us to do tourism sustainably, you agree with me, we must get the youth involved because they are the future. The theme, the topic of this discussion is powering sustainable tourism through innovation, knowledge exchange, and collaboration. How do we get these young people to understand that culture is sustainable? He said something that is a take-home point for me. He said culture is a subset of tourism. Honorable Quadri, the young people out there are not wearing Ashofi like Olamide here. I don't wear Ashofi. How can we get our young people involved?
Thank
Please
you.
tell us from your experience.
Thank you very much. Young Africans, this is the time to take your destiny to your hands. With tourism, Nigeria as a country can generate 99% of job placement. It's an open ground. It's like when you are flying, you are on top there, you see massive, it's big. So what we are trying to say is that it's not just Ashofi. We have a whole lot that youth of this country should look into, tourism-wise. And that is why, when you look at SDG, it's that time we look at all those points, bullets under SDG, and see what we can do with it. And also the Agenda 2063 of the African Union. The 7 aspirations, when you look at it, it's like SDG 2. Aspiration 5 of the agenda is talking about how to develop our culture. And when you talk of culture, you talk of our tourism, you talk of our heritage. I addressed some youths of recent who are saying, I don't have a job. I said, you can start something today. He said, like what? I said, if you're in Abuja, it doesn't cost you much. It doesn't cost you to even register. Even without registration, you can start doing something as a tour guide. It's just for you to come up with an idea. I want to be a tour guide. Go to Naoto, go and get some training. Even before going to Naoto, let people know that this is what I do. For example, people enter Abuja daily. People move from Abuja to Lagos. Like somebody coming to Abuja from any part of the world. And on your phone, you've created a platform where people can, go through and know more about you, that you're a tour guide. Anybody coming to Nigeria for the first time, we want to contact you. Mr. So, I'm coming to Lagos. I'm coming to Abuja. Some will even ask you, book an hotel for me, take care of my logistics. You will be making money from this. And if they want to move, for example, in Abuja now, somebody coming from America to Abuja for the first time, want to go to Wuse Market, want to go to National Mosque, want to go to all these areas. Because they've contacted you, you are the one that will take them around. Like what my brother is doing. He cannot tell us he's not making money from it. That's why he continues doing it. And he will continue to do it. Because he knows that apart from making money from it, a whole lot of people are benefiting from it. And that's why we need to really talk to each other. We need to look at it. That you can't wait for government. Government cannot do everything for us. Even in advanced countries, their government don't do everything for them. But tourism-wise, we can do a whole lot. Another thing we can do is when you travel to some of these East African countries, you see youth who are doing engraving, youth who are carving. You see, some are just marketing their job. But in Nigeria here, you've been moving Abuja now. I expect our brothers from other countries in this hall to wear something like "Welcome to Abuja," or "This is Zuma Rock. This is Aso Rock." You can see it here. But as a youth, you can start doing something. Start producing t-shirts that will carry some of these, our heritage centers. People will buy. Don't wait for government. Thank you.
A round of applause for that. That was so sharp. The director of tourism want to chip in something as regarding the youth inclusion. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The major challenge is we are not engaging the youth properly. Why do I say so? Even government runs empowerment kits and programs, and you give out cash. The cash can't take anybody home. In Nigeria, we've tried few things and they worked. First, if we go to youth training, we try to give them kits that can let them into what they're trained to do. Like what my friend just spoke now is tourist souvenir. We have tourists that come to our office to say, we want a Nigerian branded souvenir. You get to Wuse Market, what you get there is made in China, made in Hawaii, even when they're made in Aba, they put it made in China. Maybe they think if they put Aba, it will not fly. But for we that are in area of making gains through souvenir, is that Nigerianness that will sell. So we are not engaging the youth properly. We are making them promises that are not real. In 2017, we had a youth training in Edo. We discovered that some of them, some are core members, some are unemployed youth. During the welcome program, we did some party. We saw that some of them were dancing well. But I said, you know, you can form a troop. Good. The commissioner then was Zeuzi. By the time we are concluding, they have come up with a dance troupe. By the time at the closing ceremony, the governor said they will come and perform in government house. The story is that they are the official troupe of a state. Because youth have what it takes to learn fast. You get your orientation camp in 48 hours. You do the parade almost faster than the man teaching you to do the parade. Because you are at the point of grabbing things fast. You practice the tourist survey and I give them small machines. If I didn't, oh, I'm part of this. I come with some PowerPoint. You see what our students, trainees do in terms of souvenir production. Now that if we produce it doesn't even go around. From the point of production, it's hotel movement. Then we had the youth complain they don't have money. We told the scene it was zip training. But just said, please, ma, instead of this he wanted to give take home money. Why don't you convert it to maybe iPad, smartphone, so that we can tell them what to do, because they can lie on their bed and make money without going under the sun. He said, but if you take more money, say, please just add. Our office will add more. The then DG, not my present DG, said we can consider part of our money so that they are giving something. Form a part. They formed it. Keep the restaurant that most of them from there have made their life better than where it was. It doesn't mean they hire better out of begging, that they can take care of their daily. So we are not engaging the youth. We are just promising them jobs that are unexisting. We are giving them money that cannot make impact. Why not teach them how to fish instead of giving them the fish that we're not even giving them at all? So all government agencies should try to do what they think can touch the youth to make them embrace tourism. We were in Oyi, they felt they have nothing to sell. I said, but you people brag that you have Obunike. How many persons come there in a year? Because nobody places it online for people to see that we have such a place. How do you expect people to come? Few of them that did it now, annually people go there, students, everybody, and when they go, they make money. Apart from the money, they make contacts. They make friendship, because tourism is about culture of love and friendship across the world.
Thank you very much, sir.
So that's what I'm saying. Let's engage them properly by giving them the things that will not cost them much, but will give them a lot. Thank you.
A round of applause to that. I have promised you that this panel session will allow the audience to react. So I have two more on my panel. I'm going to come back to Ambassador Lamide, and then I'm going to come back to you. Engineers, I hope you have the YouTube video I'm talking about ready. If you have it, okay, you don't have it. Now, before I come to you, Ambassador Lamide, some dignitaries walked in while the panel session was going, and I want to take permission to break protocol to introduce them. I am seeing here some very amazing faces. There are some other faces that were invited that I don't know personally. Protocol are helping me to get your names, but please put your hands together for this amazing man, the country representative of the African Union ECOSOC in Nigeria, Honorable Oba Olasukomi. A round of applause for Honorable Oba, please. Thank you very much. And also, while the panel was ongoing, my boss and mentor in the industry, somebody who brought me to Abuja, actually, because I was in Osun State with Olamide before I came to Abuja in the pandemic year. Somebody was my tour guide to Abuja. Now I'm doing something in the FCT. So please, everybody, put your hands together to celebrate Ambassador Dr. Kayode Adeshola Abiodun, the MD CEO of TPM Consulting and Tourism Plus NG. This man put Almat Farms on the spot in Abuja in the year of the pandemic. A round of applause to my boss, Ambassador Kayode. Also, I have here Honorable Zarau Bashir, CGDP, MSNA, MITPN, the CEO of Zara Trending Gallery. A round of applause to you. Permit me to also celebrate and recognize Otuba Dr. Kola A. Solomon. A round of applause to you, sir. Thank you very much for coming. I invited Otuba Dr. Kola yesterday at the ITPN event to be at this event, and he's here today. Please, a round of applause to him. He's not the only person in that category. There are some persons that I just informed yesterday that are in this room today. Please, a round of applause to yourselves, everybody. So before I come to the audience for your questions, comments, and reaction, because I have a tour guide in the room, an FCT tour guide, that I believe I'll introduce both of you together. But Ambassador Lamide, you made a point. You said Osun State can make $9 billion per annum. Was it dollars or naira?
Dollars.
As a matter of fact, this year, the World Travel and Tourism Council, WTTC, they brought a report. It was a post-pandemic report that I'm still amazed about. That by the year 2032, tourism in Nigeria will give the young Nigerians about 32 million jobs in Nigeria. They did that research on Nigeria, in case you are not aware of that. World Travel and Tourism Council. Now, how do you think that $9 billion can be achieved? Because when you make mention of $9 billion, I'm looking at what $9 billion can do to the GDP of Osun and what it can do to Nigeria, because that $9 billion cannot just sit in Osun State. How is that possible? And does that actually generate and also equates to employment creation for our teeming population of youth? Thank you.
First and foremost, this is an understanding one needs to take as an emphasis to grow in life. Nobody knows it all. Nobody will ever know it all. But the yet in it is that you have to know something to be somebody. There's no two words about that. Made few trips to Brazil, and you have those Brazilians. As I speak to you right now, I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag. I'm gonna be open. I'm gonna be straightforward because we are learning here. 9 million Brazilians are looking forward to, and I repeat it again, 9 million Brazilians are looking forward to become citizen, not citizen of Nigeria. Apparently, the federal government will not be happy with that. But the federal government needs to understand that. They need to set value for people to accept what is on the ground. The value is very important. It's simple. We that have the understanding of what's going on, we're into Brazil because we understand as Brazilians. What are you guys looking forward to in Africa? They didn't just mention Africa. They were particular about Oshun. What's the significance of this Oshun? The value for Oshun is Ishashe. That's the Ifa initiation into that culture. And I asked again there, wait a minute, you have two PhDs. You want to come into Oshun to understand what is Ifa, what is that, and that is what? Culture. They come into Oshun State to represent as what? As citizens of Oshun. Trust me, what do we have in Oshun for them to embark on? 9 million Brazilians coming to Oshun State. There is no country in this world that will stick to development what the 9 million Brazilians will put forward to. I go back to the US. African American in the US, we did a DNA where you have Snoop Dogg today. When he did his ancestral lineage, he figured it out that he is from Oyo, and through the Oyo Empire, that's how he got his lineage. So now, if you look at that, out of 6 million African Americans that want to be African, out of the 6 million, 4 million did their DNA. Few of them went to 4 million in West Africa. Out of the 6 million, 4 million West Africa. 3.7 did a DNA again, and the result of the DNA forced them back into Nigeria. The 3.5 million of the African Americans DNA leads them to West Africa. Out of the 3.5, 3.2 million did another DNA. The DNA lead them to Nigeria. Out of the 3.2, 3.1 did another one again. It lead them to Oyo, and it will lead them to the Southwest. And in the Southwest, 3.3 million did the DNA lead them to Oshun. Do you understand the value of what we don't see, neither what we want to understand? It's beyond what we keep talking about, the value. Even if the value is a certain place, do we have readiness to maintain what's on the ground? That's another thing again. You can say from now to tomorrow, the federal government have money to build the best edifice of culture. If you don't maintain it, in the next 6 months, that thing is gone. And that's another problem that we have here. It's not like it's not like one person cannot do it. One person can do it all, but can more maintain it. The maintaining of what we have, which is value, if it's not being concluded, nothing can happen. If it become a yo-yo syndrome, you come back, it's still the same thing that is there. For me, like I said before, I tell the youth today, trust me, if you cannot join them, don't need to beat them, just leave them alone. I resigned as SSA for culture and tourism, not because I was not being fed. I just couldn't join them. I couldn't take that. Like, no, you say you do it, make it happen. Don't keep saying it. Don't keep saying it, just make it happen. You have the leverage, you have all it takes. But what's stopping you? Why? There's no politics in growth. If you want to grow, man, take politics out of it. You will become who you want to be. Thank you, Baba.
A round of applause to that. You hit the nail on the head. So I want the audience to get ready for your reactions and your questions. And I'm going to come to Kante Quest. We are looking at powering sustainable tourism through knowledge exchange, innovation, and collaboration. The head of culture at African Union has spoken about knowledge exchange. Knowledge exchange. The director here has spoken about collaborations, that we can't do it alone. I want you to throw more light on the innovation part of it. You are not just a tour guide, but a YouTuber. And you don't just do YouTube, you do YouTube of top videos. I wake up in the morning, my phone pops up with notification, and you just see it's another jamboree of YouTube video, just looking to drive traffic to their site to make money. You are doing YouTube to promote tourism destinations. Mr. Kante, how can we replicate that? Because I have so many videos bottled up on my hard drive, training videos, videos of tours. I don't have time to do YouTube. But how can I leverage on that innovation? Because that's innovation. If you want to know about destinations you've never met in Abuja, just visit www.kantekest.com. There are places in Abuja I am shocked about. Echo and nature tourism site in Abuja. There was a time he was swimming in one video in one water. It's like, if this man is not even afraid of crocodiles. But if you see that environment and the waterfall, do you know how many waterfalls we have in the FCT? This guy has visited more, I can count more than 10 videos of different waterfalls you have visited. But the part I am interested in is not the tour guiding part, that innovation part. How can everybody here leverage on social media? How can I stop keeping my videos on my phone and keeping them in my hard drive? Because I don't know YouTube, but I know there are other social media platforms I can use. Mr. Kante, kindly educate us how we can bring this innovation to promote sustainable tourism.
Okay, thank you, Captain. So the platform is already there for everybody. YouTube is an international platform. It's viral, it's worldwide. So now, in the time, when you talk about innovation, the platform is already existing. It's just for you to use it. Don't keep your videos in your hard drive. A lot of people have videos they want to post on YouTube, but they don't. I don't know why. Some people say, if I post it on YouTube, what is the possibility that many people are going to view the video? So there's a trick I use. Number one is the title of the video. It's called clickbait. You need to put a very interesting title in your video that will make somebody, make people to be curious to quickly run and open this video. The second is what we call the thumbnail. The thumbnail is the picture you see on top of the YouTube video. I will give you an example. I was in Niger Republic, and there is a fossil of dinosaur discovered in Niger Republic. Many people don't know this. So what I did, I used a picture from National Geographic, where some people were excavating the skeleton of a dinosaur. And then the caption was, dinosaur fossil in Niger. So it makes it look like a breaking news. It's not breaking news. It's all part of the trick, actually, I use, you understand? Then the third thing is the first 5 seconds of your video must be the most interesting. The introduction of your video is either, it determines whether they will continue watching your video or it's done. So the first 5 videos, I use drone shots. In fact, I use the most interesting part of that video. I put it in the first 5 seconds. So it's either I use a drone shot, I use, like you said, maybe I'm going to the waterfall. Of course, there is the trip. The trip starts from the bus. When you reach the place, don't put all of those in the beginning. Put the actual waterfall. People jumping into the waterfall. Make it the first 5 seconds. Then I guarantee you people will watch the rest of the video. So these are some of the tricks I use. So I hope
A round of
whoever
applause
is
to
doing YouTube here.
Mr. Kante, the guest. Thank you for giving tricks. Honestly, I'm looking at a synergy here, Director. I'm looking at a synergy between TBS Africa, Nioto, and Kantekest on promoting tourism destinations with YouTube. What do you think about that?
That'll be a takeaway from this.
Fantastic. A round of applause to that. We have already take-homes from this. I know there are so many ladies, so many on the audience that they are in my category. They have videos they want to promote on YouTube, but they don't know how to go about it. That master class is going to be fantastic. So, Kantekest, thank you for that. Now, it is time to receive audience reaction. So, engineers, can I get a microphone, one microphone for the audience? So please, it's time for questions, comments, or reactions. And I seem to have committed a blunder because I have failed to recognize one of my bosses who is also here. I know he was in this meeting, maybe he stepped out. But please, ladies and gentlemen, with apology, put your hands together for the national president of the Youth Tourism Development Organization, Comrade Emmanuel Okon. Please put your hands together properly. Let it be on record that I recognize him Why I needed to do that was very key because I am the zonal coordinator for the FCT, for Youth Tourism Development Organization. So you can understand why I had to do this. If not, I'll get fined. So, protocol, I'm going to ask those who want to give comments or reactions, you're going to give them the microphone. So let me start with the country representative of African Union, ECOSOC, Nigeria, Honorable Oba Olasukomi. A round of applause for him.
Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry I came a bit late. I was exhausted. I think when we start talking about culture, it's like you're touching my nerves. And it's really funny how we look down on culture as Africans and also as Nigerians especially. We have, when you were talking about $9 billion, I was just laughing because I know that when we have in Osun State, we can make more. A lot, a whole lot. And not to talk about the other Western states, even also the Northern states, when it comes to culture. Culture is a driver of Nigerian tourism. If we really want to get it done, let's bring in culture. We're talking about Adere. What stops a youth? Creating a whole lot of fashion from Adere. What stops a youth from doing shoe? I saw my sister putting on a shoe. Adere designing. Of the online social media, like you said, I met a youth recently, very young. In fact, he came to serve in my office. And I was trying to counsel her that you are a youth. Once you are done, what will you do? Are you going to get a job? She told me no company can pay her. I started calling her CEO from that day. What was she doing? She will sew designers' clothes and put it on YouTube. And guess what? The African Americans in Britain, African Americans, the Afro-Caribbean, the Afro-Brazilians, they patronize her because they just fell in love with the fibers of Africa. And guess what? They buy it at a higher rate. Yes. All she does is just put it there and they send her money. She sew the style, package it, send it to them. And she will tell them, once I send it to you, that's one of our conditions. Once I send it to you, put it on, snap it, and send the picture to me. And then she upload the picture. And when you see a white man putting on Adire, you understand the impact. And today she's done, and she's focusing on her business. Come and see the followers she's having on Twitter alone. Not talk of on Instagram, on Facebook. And this girl, she's no more than 23, but she's doing fine. She told me, said, no company can pay her. So she can't sit with, in fact, I was asking her, how do you meet it? She said, I have people who sew for me. I have the machine, but I don't sew. I have people who sew for me. How much averagely do you pay them? She said, and she made nothing less than 20,000 for just one purchase. Just one purchase. She sells it in dollars. So I wonder why we youth kept wasting our add-in money, buying data, and then shooting videos that don't even earn you any money. When I got the privilege of representing Nigeria, the first thing was to travel to some of the states. And any state I go to, I meet the Obas, the emirs. When I got to Katsina, I met the emir of Katsina and then the emir of Daura. Do you know their culture that spanned over 200 years, kept in the palace? She showed, the emir of Katsina showed us one band He just kept it there, telling us the history of that drum. What stop one putting that on Facebook or on Twitter and go there? Look at this. A whole lot in our culture that are buried and nobody is talking about it. And we kept running around looking for white-collar jobs, and we were looking for how to run abroad, to go to US, and then pack debts and do all sort of nonsense. I think it's time we start sensitizing our youth. Because first, a lot of our youth has lost touch with our culture. They don't know it. There is no village in Nigeria that don't have a festival that is worth projecting. No village in Nigeria that don't have a festival that is worth projecting. When I went to Osun, I met the governor, because I actually met the governor and I told him he should lead the cultural, I forgot to call it, that you are the governor, you have a whole lot in Osun State. Please lead other governors. And he said, yes, I will do it. I'm ready. But one thing he told me was that in Osun, it's only one day in the whole year that they don't have festival. Only one day. And all these festivals are historical. They are historical festivals. Each of the villages, each of the communities have their historical festival. That is throughout the whole year. Only one day that you don't have a festival. And then why is Osun so dull? What is happening? Because nobody is talking about those. Some people they are not coming to look at the festival per se, but they want to know the history behind the festival. They tell them, you know, a lot of us, we look at the Westerners and we look at what they are doing as if, I don't blame them. They say what they have, we don't say what we have. I went to Athens and I went to Acropolis. If you Google, Acropolis is like, but by the time I got there and I paid 200 euro to buy my pass, and I got up and I came down and said, what did I come here to do? It's true. Because to me, I was only seeing rocks. I have seen more in Nigeria. In fact, more historical rocks.
30 seconds more, sir.
More historical rocks in Nigeria than I saw in Athens. But nobody is talking about those rocks. Yes, nobody. In my village, there is a rock. When you get it, they show you a river. They say this water is deep inside the rock. This was where we hid when there was war. You wonder how people will hide inside that small thing. But those stories, those who know the stories are dying off and they are going away with the stories. And that beautiful, wonderful, cultural story is dying away. I hope we wake up. You said 20 minutes, but I told you touched my nerves because I am so passionate now about culture because of what I've seen that I wonder why we are not poor anyway. We are not.
Tourism is a very dependent sector. It depends on every other sector to survive, transportation inclusive. And after you have now spoken, I must now pass the microphone to the representative of NITT, the Nigerian Institute of Transport Technology, to also give us their own remarks, especially now that we have known that even the road safety has their own responsibility as far as SDG is concerned. So, our protocol, can I have the microphone for the director, the representative of the DG of Nigerian Institute for Transport Technology? Make it snappy. So after the DG, I'm going to take one more reaction, and it's going to be from our guests from the Embassy of Hungary, if that's possible. And then we'll close the panel session. Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, gentlemen and ladies. You want to stand on the existing protocol? Like it has rightly been said.
Protocol is come over.
There is no way tourism can take place.
Engineer,
without-
can you give him volume, please? You can put the mic in your mouth like this.
Okay.
Yes,
There's no way
better.
tourism will happen without transport, wherever, either within or from abroad. Because the first thing is either you come by by airplane, which is the vehicle, of course, that brings you in, or you come by the marine vehicles, the ship and all the rest. And within, wherever, by the time you get to the port or you get to that's the seaport or the airport, vehicles still move you. So the bottom line is, no matter what, transport is what drives tourism. That you can't take out from tourism. So transport is a mover, a major mover of tourism wherever you go. Within the country, even if you want to go to Osun State, of course, you have to use a vehicle. So that is where transport and, of course, the technology comes in. Thank you very much.
A round of applause to that very germane and vital contribution. So, yes, my boss is raising his hand. Please, before I come to, oh, fantastic. You want to elongate this panel session, but I've actually been informed also that our lunch is on the way. So, with the permission of the panel, we should allow the audience to react, don't you think? All right. So, before I come to our representative from the Embassy of Hungary, let me quickly take Ambassador Kayode, the MD CEO of Tourism Plus NG, for his own reaction. Sir, you have just 2 minutes for your reaction, so that, because I know you are a doctor. 2 minutes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. My own conclusion to what we have been discussing is all centered around the youth, the involvement. What I want to pass across is that we need to just carry the youth along, like what have been discussed between TBS, NIOTA, and County Quest, that we need to come up with programs where we sit the youth down and let them understand the nitty-gritties, the potentials in tourism through culture. And another message I want to pass across, there are a whole lot of things we can do all around tourism, especially when we look at FCT here. I do say it that the Zuma Rock is just there, lying there, wasting. People could make a lot of money through that Zuma Rock. I could remember when Jacob Zuma was to be made the president of South Africa. I was opportune to fly to South Africa that very day. And I was like, wow, how I wish the tourism sector in Nigeria can just tap into that. A president of a country bearing the same name with a rock in Nigeria. Can we just look into that and use the avenue to bring South Africans to Nigeria to come and see Zuma Rock? And there are a lot of stories around that Zuma Rock. Some people will tell you that if you are approaching it, you see a sign of ice on the rock. That is a selling point. Some people will come up and say, oh, there is the first 5-star hotel in Abuja was built beside that rock. And it got to a time, some ghosts, some spirit came and scared away people from the hotel. There are stories like that. I now sat down, now said, if there is a story like that and everybody is running away from the Zuma Rock, can't we package the spirit that chases people out of that Zuma Rock? It could be our center point of selling Zuma Rock. There are some people that are interested in knowing that place where there are spirits that chase people away. So we could look into that direction. And I was talking with my brother yesterday, Honorable Juno. I said, now in tourism, we have one wonderful governor that just came on board. We can play around that governor, the governor of Osun State. What that man is doing is tourism. He's the most happiest governor as far as I'm concerned in Nigeria now. Because anywhere you see him,
That's very true.
that man keeps dancing.
Dancing governor.
And when you are talking of culture, dancing is part of the culture of the people. So why can't we do something around that governor and make him know
A round of applause to that idea. That's an idea.
tourism?
That's
So
a concept.
that is the reason why we are here seated here today. So let's encourage the youth to embrace that. We've talked about tourism souvenirs. Last year or this year, we went as far as remote areas in Nasarawa State just to fish out somebody doing tourism souvenirs. How the guy was presented during our Ibile program in March. These are things we need to do for the tourism industry. And may I let us know that just in 2021, according to statista.com, it says tourism and travel contributed 3.6% to the GDP of this country, Nigeria, which is equivalent of 16 billion US dollar. You can see that even despite the impact of COVID-19, tourism is still making impact. So we have a lot to do as a stakeholder in the industry and the upcoming. Thank you.
A round of applause to Ambassador Kayode for that. So let me let you in on that. Ambassador Kayode is not just the MDC of Tourism Plus NG. He's also the convener of Niger Ibile Tourism Summit and also Niger Tourism Week. A round of applause to that. So watch out next year for Niger Tourism Week. Yes, we have Nigeria Travel Week, right? But Niger Tourism Week has been unveiled. And it was unveiled this year by Ambassador Kayode Adeshola. And I'm very happy to be a partner. We have a 4-year memorandum of understanding with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture for Niger Tourism Week. A round of applause to Ambassador Kayode. Please kindly celebrate him. All right, I'm seeing other hands are up. We are going to pass the mic to you, but now let me give the microphone to one of our representatives from Embassy of Hungary to make his remarks and comments. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the microphone. And I already dressed like a tourist, so the summit works. Congratulations. I really enjoyed the speeches and the comments of the honorable panelists. I think it was great. And when the question section was coming, actually one particular question just came into my mind, and please allow me to provoke the honorable panelists a little bit. I'm working as an economic counselor, so I'm reading the news with the eye of business. And a few weeks ago, I read a news related to the National Space Agency. And the news said that the Space Agency is looking for a private partner for PPP project just to implement and install a planetarium. And the feasibility study stated that more than 2,000 visitors is expected every week, so weekly, more than 2,000, almost 2.5. And the entrance fee will be like 152,000 naira, something like that. So my question is, because as far as I know, installing a planetarium and maintaining it, it's pretty expensive because it's in between educational project and scientific project. So what do you think? Can this be project sustainable? Is this project is there real demand here in Nigeria, here in Abuja, to run this project and make it successful? So I would like to provoke you with this question, if I may.
Thank you very much. That was a very fantastic contribution. And Kante, would you like to respond? You could hardly hear him. So, Olamide, do you want to respond to that? Go ahead.
Sure. Like, well, thank you very much for that. For me, I see it as on observation. Because if you understand that one of the biggest problems that we have in Africa, well, in Nigeria, is statistics. We always think we know simply because we can see. But when you don't put it down, it's just wasting time. I can tell you for an example now, the number of pilgrimages that came to Osun State for the Osun Shungo Festival, they told me I was part of it. They told me there were about 10,000, but trust me, there were more than that. Do you know that if they employ a department, okay, they have department for information, Ministry for Information. If the Ministry for Information can be an umbrella to note the sensor, you're bringing people into the country, and you don't understand that there have to be a database from whoever, however they come from, wherever they come from. We need to know where they're coming from. We need to understand what they're coming in to do, and doing that, you're bridging gaps. You're making people understand that, listen, standard. I was talking about standard to my friend that, listen, if you buy a Rolls Royce Phantom, if the Rolls Royce Phantom is coming from the US and is going to Sierra Leone or is going to Somalia, trust me, if it gets to Somalia, it's not going to turn into a Rolls Phantom. It's still going to be Rolls Royce Phantom. So if standard is standard in America, standard has to be standard here. So, however, if you tell me that we have a consensus problem, that's what I feel, that we have a consensus problem, which is what we don't really emphasize on the truth simply because we don't have that time. That's what we say. I don't have the time to start counting people. You need to count people. Because if you don't count people, how do we know how many people are in Abuja here? Take a look for an example. If we look into the statistics, the census here, if they tell me in Nigeria that we are getting to 200 million people, trust me, we're more than that. We all know that. We are more than that. So how do you get this accuracy? You said it. We have people like you. When you come into the country like that, be sure that the same energy, the same synergy that you leave out of your country, you bring it here. Don't listen to them because they have power or control. No, you tell them, this is what I want to do. I did it. If I can do it as a black man in my own country, you can do it as a white man in an African country. True. Don't lay emphasis on what they tell you. Be sure about what you're bringing because you understand that the standard is where you come from. But here, you're not feeling the standard. So don't be part of the problem, brother. Thank you so much.
A round of applause to that. Please, let's have Honorable Kodri respond.
Thank you very much.
30 seconds.
Thank God I have Ambassador Juno here because I hardly got what you spoke about. Sorry, but he has explained that. We are talking about data. Thank you. You are here. Yes, I think it's high time when we look at culturally now, the number of museums we have in Nigeria. I think we need to do something. You know, number of artifacts that has been returned, because I must tell you that today from Europe, now they are returning African artifacts to us. So we need to take data of all these things. And that's a challenge to youth. Somebody can go on and say, I want to be a data collector of our indigenous artifacts. I want to be a data collector of our heritage centers. I want to be a data collector of our religious centers, because religion is part of tourism. Yes. So as a result of this, if you are doing this, you have something doing. You can't be idle. So it's a clarion call. Mr. we're going to start something on data collection. And not only for Nigeria, but Africa as a whole. And very soon, the result will be out. Thank you.
A round of applause to that. Thank you very much for that contribution. Yes, let's have the microphone for Mrs. Mercy here from the Department of Domestic Tourism. Mrs. Mercy, raise your hand. Oh, and I have another lady. Up first, and then the last comment or question will be Ajia in the blue hijab after Madam Mercy. Please, if you have a question, push it straight forward. If it's a comment, keep it to 2 minutes because of time. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you all again. I'm standing in here for our director. She's unavoidably absent. She was at an event yesterday with us, and she spent her whole day. So if I'm to speak for her, she's very supportive of tourism in Nigeria. During her time as the director, she has opened up her arms to many private sector. So just to say, if you have anything you want the ministry to collaborate, please do feel free and come to the ministry, for we are welcoming. And for the issue of statistics, we are actually working on statistics through the UNWTO. We have some officers who we are going to station at various tourism sites to gather enough data. I think that's a step forward. This was due to the UNWTO conference we had in 2018, and we'll see it come in full force very soon. Thank you very much. Yeah.
A round of applause, please, for Madam Mercy, representing our mommy tourism, Mrs. Practitioner. A round of applause for mommy. Mommy was at a function yesterday from morning till night, actually. So I remember that Otumba wanted to give a response, but when I wanted to call you, I saw you went to pick a call outside. But let's do ladies first, and then I'll come back to you. The other representatives from the embassies will also give us their 1 minute remarks, right? And then we close the panel session. I have just received that permission from the panels, right? Okay, good. So let's have Ajia in the blue hijab. So kindly introduce yourself because it's my first time seeing you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Aisha Umar.
Engineers, can you give our volume?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to appreciate everybody that part of this organization. Commend you all for this great job of enlightening us about tourism. My question is to Mr. Kante. He's given us some eye-opening tricks of how he goes about creating content and keeping his audience captivated. I'm one of his followers. In as much as he's doing a fantastic job, I would like to know maybe one or two of his challenges and how he was able to overcome them, so that people who might want to follow in what he's doing will also be abreast of not just the good, but also the bad. Thank you.
Context. I'm happy you finally got a question. So you can give us more tricks.
Okay, so I have to confess that it's not all as easy as I make it look while making the videos. Of course, you leave out some of the challenges out of the videos. Even though at times there's been 1 or 2 videos that actually mentioned and even showed 1 or 2 of the challenges I had, like recording in certain places where you have somebody insulting you, like in the market in Lagos, Marina. I was making a video in Marina, and the people were saying, "Oh, Oga, you're filming this thing and you're not planning to buy. What kind of a thing is this? Blah, blah, blah." So yes, actually there are some challenges, but the issue is
Video mixer.
Sorry?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Calling the attention of.
So
thank you.
Okay, so I focus on what I know people want to see. People like the edge. People want to see things that are like not the regular things that you see every day. So that is actually what I showcase. For example, if I go to a waterfall, many people have seen a waterfall before. It's nice. But I will also look for something like a cave. If there's a cave in that place where maybe it's very dark, there's some bats, I would like to also go and show that place. And maybe that place will even be the beginning of my video so that people will be like, oh, what is all this about? I've also done a video where like I went to a snake farm in Nasarawa. So the beginning of that video is actually putting a snake on me. Is you
Are
know,
you
it's not,
serious right now?
yes, I'm very serious. So you can put a python on you and make sure that's like the beginning of the video so that everybody will be like, oh my God, this person is putting a python. So anything that builds up to the putting of that python, the full length, they will be ready to watch. You understand? So that's actually one or two of the tricks I use.
Sorry to ask, did the snake bite you?
No, it does. Pythons don't bite.
Wow. A
The
round of
only-
applause to that response.
I
A
hope
round
I've
of
answered-
applause to that response, please. Are you done? You want to give us more tricks?
No, I think I've answered the question. I hope. I've answered the question.
So please, let's clap properly for Kantekes now. All right. Thank you for the response.
So actually, the coordinator was saying I should confess that that's my sister that just asked the question now. Maybe that's
Isn't
why I
that
was
beautiful? Thank you very much for making that, throwing that jibe at him, so that now we know you have a. I need to maybe be careful with you now. Now that I know that you can carry a snake. Me, I can't do that. But those are some of the things you see and go through when you are doing tour guiding. So please, thank you very much for what you do, Kantekes. All right. Kindly pass the microphone to other representative from the embassy to make their comments if they are interested. If not, please give the mic to Honorable Otumba. But before you do that, I must recognize some dignitaries who also came in. I told you at the beginning of this event that we have a lot of guests that will be coming in, and I can see some faces that have joined us. First of all, let me also appreciate the presence of a colleague, a friend, and also a stakeholder in the room who just walked in the person of the senior special advisor to the governor of Delta State on culture and tourism, Bayelsa State, Honorable Preye Kreyamo. All my friends are SSAs, so you need to move close to me so that I can show you the road. Also, I want to really appreciate and recognize the presence of the Nigerian Association of Professional Chefs. They just walked in while the panel discussion was on. They also received a very late notice. I jammed them at the ITPN meeting yesterday, and they are here. Please help me to celebrate the Association of Professional Chefs of Nigeria. So if you want to be a chef, you can talk to them. So now, kindly let's receive the contribution or question of Otumba, Dr. Kola. A round of applause for him, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please permit me to stand on the existing protocol. I want to really appreciate the organizers of this program because this is a very good initiative. Sincerely speaking, I don't really know much about tourism in Nigeria, but yesterday at the event, because actually the Institute for Tourism Professionals, the FCT chapter was the one that invited me yesterday. And from yesterday, I began to listen to, because in fact, please, can we appreciate Captain, because he was among the panelists yesterday, and I heard him mention they have trained a lot of youth. Because actually my own passion is in the area of human capital development. I am privileged to work on a World Bank project, and I'm the National Training Officer for the program. That is the National Cash Transfer Program under the Social Investment Program. And by privilege, I'm also an SDG ambassador, which I was given an award last year with a special plate number by God's grace. So,
you didn't hear that? He's an SDG ambassador. Please, a round of applause to that.
so I really want to appreciate what you are doing. It's a very, very good initiative.
Thank you, sir.
My own message is to the youth, because the youth are very, very important in our society. However, we have, from studies, we've seen that you, the organizers, have a lot to do, because like when my colleague here was speaking earlier, he spoke about sensitization. But what I think is even beyond sensitization, we need to look at behavioral change mindset. Because the mindset of the people, if you look at, a lot of us in Nigeria don't really understand that we are all tourists, one way or the other, whether locally or internationally. Because this is festive period, so many people will be thinking of maybe going to their villages to celebrate Christmas. That is part of tourism. People are moving from one location to another at every point in time, and which we can, so many people have spoken here, I will not want to really waste our time, which we can harness all that opportunities to convert them to money. But my message is that for us that are youth, nowadays, a lot of us don't want to make sacrifices. That is the challenge. Everybody wants to enter into venture that they expect it will deliver immediately. And it is very difficult. There's a lot we can benefit, even I myself, because as I've come here, I've listened, and I think there are areas which we can collaborate and do one or two things, either in terms of trainings, or there are so many things. Even the organization where I work, I believe there's a lot we can do. So I will see the organizers maybe much later after this program, so that we look at areas of collaboration. But for the youth, we must open our minds and try to learn. Because what I tell people is, experience is the only thing you cannot buy with money. You can buy certificate, buy first class, but you cannot buy experience. So I think it's something that we should embrace, and we should appreciate what they are doing. And from the side of the government, I think the government still need to do a lot. Because sincerely speaking, say that they have an MOU collaboration with Ministry of Information for 4 years. But I'm not impressed when I have that. Because what have they done with the MOU you signed? By privilege, I've been to so many countries: Brazil, Singapore, South Africa, China, UK. We see what they do. So if you have collaboration with even Ministry of Information, how many people are aware of what you are doing? We have a lot of youths right now in town roaming about. There are so many people that don't know where to go. Parties, they are looking for where they will. So that's why I'm saying that there is a lot that you need to do in terms of information dissemination, so that people can know what you are doing, because you cannot be winking in the dark. Thank you very much.
A round of applause to that. Thank you very much, sir, for hitting the nail on the head as far as information dissemination is concerned. We have done so much, but yet there's still little awareness. And I think we need to, all of us, both government, private sector, it's not just the ministry, even the private sector that signed the MOU. We need to do more on information dissemination, creating more awareness, and that is part of why we are here. Like, Kantikes said, we are supposed to, this is where we are starting it. Awareness creation is now better than it used to be. People know more about tourism, much more now than 5 years ago. In fact, the pandemic brought tourism to the forefront of discussion. but yet so much work needs to be done. So, in response to that MOU that I said, watch out for Niger Tourism Week 2023. Is a whole week of activity that is going to include culture, tourism, entertainment, and every other thing that is involved. It's a project I am also a partner of, and Ambassador Kayode is the convener. So next year, 2 events. If you look at the back page of your program of events, you will see the invitation for Africa Tourism and SDG Week of Action 2023. Immediately after we wrap up this session, planning for 2023 edition will start. So either we're going to be in South Africa, or we're going to be in Tanzania, or we're going to be in Botswana, because I remember Honorable Adukeni here is already working with an SDG advocate in Botswana who is ready to host this event 2023. But then, back home here in Nigeria, we're going to do Niger Tourism Week together. And it's going to be fantastic. It's going to create awareness. It's going to do a whole lot to promote Nigeria's tourism. So in rounding up this panel session, permit me to allow my panel speakers, distinguished panelists, men of timber and caliber, to take their one-minute remarks each. And I'll start from Honorable Adukeni again. After Honorable Adukeni, I'll take Kante Guest, I'll take Sodo Salami, and the Director of Tourism will take the last remark. So, Honorable, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. A time has come for us as individuals to take culture, art, tourism as something that's the way we need to take it. A time has come for us as a nation or as a continent to see culture and tourism as a yardstick that can develop our economy. A time has come as individuals, as Africans, to do everything humanly possible to make the world we live in sustainable, sane, beautiful, and a better place for us to live in. Thank you.
You can do better than that. Kante Guest now.
Okay, so my own comment is it goes back to the support from the government. I know we've spoken about the youth. We keep trying to encourage the youth to go into tourism, but a lot of people don't know that there's some criteria for youth to become tour guides. You need a registered office. If you go to NTDC, for instance, you say you want to be a tour operator, they're going to ask you to provide, an office. You need a proper office. Maybe you need a certificate from Nihotor. So, these things are actually capital intensive. And if we're saying we want to encourage the youth, where do we want them to get this? So I think we need to actually support. Maybe Nihotor can talk about scholarship for some of the youth. And also NTDC, maybe they have to waive that having a registered office. I can be a tour guide without an office. My briefcase.
You can have a virtual office.
I don't have an office, so and I'm doing tour guiding already. So I think the government should try to look into these things.
So that's about implementing and creating policy that is youth friendly. Let's have Ambassador Olamide now.
First, this is the last word that I always like to engage myself when I'm in the project. I would like to make an emphasis of what Honorable Oba said when it comes to festivals and all that. For the fact that we know that we are culturally intense when it comes to value that we put in place, please, as an African, if you really, really understand what the value of festivals is, please stop jamboree and stop fiestas. When you keep doing festivals like fiestas, like jamborees, please, you need to go to Quilox. You need to go to Club Quilox. They'll teach you how to do fiesta. If you go to Club Cubana, they'll teach you how to do a jamboree. You can't keep doing festivals like you're doing a sitcom party jam or something like that. Because why am I laying emphasis on this? If you do a festival worth 200 million naira, and at the end of the day, and I mean it, festivals, 200 million naira for a budget for festival, for crying out loud. At the end of the day, this festival still does not have value. There's no value for. Can you please tell me one festival that you know in Nigeria that set out value for the youth? Trust me, none. And I repeat again, Honorable Oba is here. I want you to go out and let them understand there. Enough is enough. If you want to do festival, I'm a festival director myself. If we want to do festivals, let the youth be on board. Bring 85% on youth on board, because that's exactly what matters, because this is the value of what we're talking about. Without youth, there's no life. The last time I checked, the oldest man today was once a youth. So what else are we talking about? Thank you.
A round of applause for that on point and direct charge to the youth of festivals. Let's have Director of Tourism now.
Thank you very much. NIHOTO subsidize their programs. It is quite affordable. It is quite realistic. I will still subsidize more if we have collaborators that will help us break even. I want to say that a journey of 1,000 miles certainly begins with a step. And the convener here today have taken that giant step. And I want to assure us that tourism is so big an industry or industries to be toyed with. Is it the medical tourism? Of course, with post-pandemic, the world have changed and certainly will not be the same any further. Some barriers are gone and gone forever. We are talking about fourth industrial revolution. You sit in your room, you access the whole world. So there's no border again. If you're a civil servant, if you're your own, if you are self-employed, you can add tourism to what you do. Let's think of what we can do individually. If you have an undergraduate, he can add something from tourism and still be doing what he's doing without distracting himself. You have a school leaver, get the person to get hands-on training so that issue of white-collar job or roaming around the streets will be a thing of the past. So what I'm saying, let's talk to ourselves. What can I do to reap from this multi-billion-dollar business? Tourism is not fun, it's business. But our government is getting it wrong, and some individuals thinking that it's fun, it's Shaka Tower. You are going to dance, you are going to masquerade, you are going to party. It is real business. It's the only tourism that allows you to pick somebody's pocket and the person appreciates you conveniently. If you lodge in a hotel and are treated very fine, and when you are leaving the reception, you still gives a tip. As my friend is taking you on a beautiful tour of Abuja as a tour guide, he finishes with tips and their pocket and asks a tip. But if you want to buy a cup of fries, you haggle what they will remove for you. But in tourism, you spend what you have, you add again to spend, and you go home happy. Let's embrace tourism. It has little or no damage or risk. Oil is finished. Tourism can never finish. Thank you.
You can do better than that. From the bottom of my heart, distinguished panelists, I am so thankful and grateful for all your contributions, your comments, and even your presence at this maiden edition of the Africa Tourism and SDG Week of Action and the second edition of the Africa Tourism and SDG Summit. Thank you very much for coming and hoping to have you again in the 2023 edition, which is going to be the third edition, wherever it takes us in Africa, either Ghana, Botswana, South Africa, or Tanzania. You are all going to join us physically, not virtually. So, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause to my panelists. Now, I'll hand over to my MC. She's going to coordinate a photo session with all the panelists.
Yes, please. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thanks for that wonderful presentation. A round of applause for them, please. That was awesome. So please, we have a photo section. Then some of the dignitaries too will join them, please, after this section. Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Please kindly join them. Please come to the stage, sir. Your Excellency, thank you very much. Please come up. Okay, please, we are going to break it because it can occupy. So, thank you very much, Your Excellencies. So we can all go back to our seats. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Please, we can all go back to our seats. We need to move on to the next agenda. Your Excellency, we need you to be seated, please. We need to continue with the program. So before we go on with before we go for our lunch, because as the program was going on, the aroma changed. I'm so sure we all can perceive the aroma everywhere change. So please, I would love to call on and recognize the representative of NIOTO to please come up on stage. Representative of NIOTO. Chief Emeka, please, we'd love you to come up on stage, sir. The representative of African Union, in person of Honorable Obola Sukomi. We need you on stage, sir. We need you on stage, please. We also need the presence of Honorable Quadri Kenny. We need you on stage, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, please. Just for some minutes. Representative of Nioto, the representative of ITPN. If you are in the building, please, we need you on stage. Representative of ITPN, representative of Nioto, Africa Union. Okay, representative of Ministry of Information and Culture. Please, we need you on stage. Representative of Ministry of Culture, we need you on stage, please. These have been the break box supporting this program. Please kindly celebrate them as they are on stage. Please kindly celebrate them. This program wouldn't have come to pass without their support. They have been a backbone to us. They have been a brain box to us. They have been very, very supportive. Anytime we call on them, they are always there. Please, a standing ovation. Please, let's celebrate them. Your Excellency, we need you to please be on the feet as we celebrate them. So people are still standing. We need everybody to please be up on feet. So Captain, I'll hold over to the convener now. Thank you very much. Please have your seat.
Thank you very much, MC. Wait for me now. Wait for me. You are leaving me out of the shot. So this is actually very important to me because tourism and SDG is a collaborative effort. I, as private sector, I'm very happy that I've found a partner in the Ministry of Information and Culture, precisely the Department of Domestic and Ecotourism. The director of this department, Mrs. Patricia Nara, she's a fantastic woman being. From day one that I entered her office, I've never regretted any moment. Please, I want you to appreciate this woman. Mrs. Patricia Narai, Director, Domestic and Ecotourism. Fantastic, fantastic woman. There is no proposal that goes through our office, through the office of the PAMSEC, attention to our office that doesn't get attention. But not only that, I also want to celebrate my fantastic partners from the African Union. Honorable Oba Olasukomi signed our endorsement for this event personally. Personally. Honorable Adokeni, who is the head of culture, Honorable Oba is the country representative, while Honorable Adokeni is the head of culture and tourism. I kept him waiting for a whole night. Said, this endorsement must be signed. You have been promoting tourism. You have to promote sustainable tourism. I kept him in the office, and since that day up till now, he has not slept. We were all together till 12 p.m. last night, and we are all still here again. So let's join me and celebrate African Union ECOSOC. Another agency. Can I have the mufflers now? Protocol. Give me the mufflers. All right. So while the mufflers are coming, there are two other organizations that are supposed to be on the high table right now as organizers. Oh, thank God, he just walked in. So please give it up to the DG of Nioto, represented by Director of Tourism. Please come back upstage, sir. Yes. Please, a round of applause to Nioto. While one of the panelists was mentioning about Nioto subsidizing training, one thing that I even wanted to say at that time was Nioto currently has a scholarship program that is called Sustainable Tourism Entrepreneurship Program, which they are training young people in all the Nioto campuses, and they are training them for free. For free. A round of applause to Nioto for that. These are men of timber and caliber doing wonderful things in the tourism sector. One other entity, private sector organization that endorse this event, but who is not ably represented, or maybe I can just call upon any ITPN member who is here to represent ITPN. The Institute for Tourism Professionals of Nigeria was our second private sector body to endorse this event. A round of applause to ITPN, the vice chairman. Vice chairman of ITPN, thank you very much. Thank you for bailing me out, because I have been celebrating him as a Niger Tourism Week. I've forgotten that he's also my boss at ITPN. Please join me to welcome on stage Ambassador Kayode Abiodun Adeshola, the Vice Chairman of the Institute for Tourism Professionals of Nigeria, FCT chapter. Please keep clapping until he comes up stage. Keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping. Honorable, you bailed me out this afternoon. So I'm going to be inviting them one after the other and donning them with their mufflers as organizers for this event. This muffler has the inscription which says the Africa Tourism and SDG Decade of Action 2020 to 2030. That is to show that we have a 10-year of action to take together. ITPN, NIOTO, the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, AU ECOSOC. This is just the beginning. Much work needs to be done, and it's a decade. Immediately when we reach 2030, we still have, Honorable Kenny, you know that when we eventually reach 2030, we still have an agenda 2063. So the future is spelled out in front of us. Much work needs to be done. We have just started. But for your partnership, your representation, your participation in making this event a success, please, everybody, help me and celebrate these organizations with a round of applause. So I'm going to start with AU. I will invite the country representative first, Honorable Oba. Please come over as I adorn you with your organizer muffler as official organizer of this event. Next is the head of Honorable Adukeni Kende. A round of applause for him too, please. Thank you for partnering with us to make this event a success. Followed immediately by the representative of Mrs. Patricia Narai of the Department of Domestic and Ecotourism. He'll be represented by Madam Messi Sambo.
Sombo.
A round of applause to her, please. Then our appreciation to Mama Tourism. Next is the Sustainable Tourism Advocating Agency, the Director General of NIOTO, Alaji Nora Sani Kangiwa, ably represented by Chief Edelu Eneta, Director of Tourism. Please keep clapping. Thank you, sir, for partnering with us to make this event a success. And last but not the least is my father and mentor in this industry, the first man to appear at the summit when it was at the first edition, the national president of the Institute for Tourism Professionals of Nigeria, Chief Abiodun Odusonwo. ably represented here by another boss, who is the FCT chapter vice chairman for the institute, Ambassador Dr. Kayode Abiodun Adeshola. Thank you very much, sir, for making this event a success. So that comes to the end of the recognition for all the organizers. Like I said, donning you with this muffler is a sign of public commitment. I have committed you publicly. We have a 2030 journey to do together. And I'm very sure that by the time we are going to have the second or third edition of the summit, which is the second edition of the Week of Action outside Nigeria, we are going to have more partners to also done, because we are still going to pursue more collaborations and more partnership. African Tourism Board was supposed to be here, but we were not able to finalize our partnership with them. We will do that by the second edition of the Week of Action. So please kindly rise up majestically as we take a good photograph together as organizers of this event.
Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we'll be having our launch section very soon after the photograph. So please, we have to follow protocols. For the launch section, we have the VIP go first, then followed by the VVIPs too. Okay. Okay. Okay, they said we are going to be served. So, Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, while the food is being served, we'll go straight to the award presentation. Okay. Okay. So, Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the lunch. Our food will be served to us now. And while the food is being served, we'll go straight into the award presentation. But before the award presentation, DJ, please lighten the mood for us. Because all work and no play. We need energy.
Listen, one leg in, one leg out. Should be you to see me. Change your style, change your style. Okay, be like that. Life no be a serious something. Still no be a play something. When you
Yes, 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 beautiful ladies, perfect gentlemen. We heard your call, we heard your cries all over social media. Guess what? Alternate Sounds, DJ Biggin, we back. It's Afro Jam Sessions 2021. Let's get it.
DJ Biggin. Forget your manners at home. Manners at home.
Rock with me tonight. It's about to be a mad thing.
Watch the mix.
Yeah. When they tryna hold me, I go zoom, zoom, zoom. Don't like your vibe and I go zoom, zoom, zoom. Blowing up the roof and it go boom, boom, boom. Don't you ever treat me like a boom. Bad energy, I zoom, zoom, zoom. I be on my way like I be coming.
We coming.
Gotta chop around and it go boom, boom, boom. So when they tryna hold me, I go
what you say?
Oh, she said make her put down. How much she be size and she carry food van. And she love me boy for my head no good down.
Somebody call on my lady.
She said make her put down. Say my love a healer than a miracle now. Down slowly, we got a easy boost now. Oh yeah yeah yeah. Oh yeah yeah yeah. She say she like it. No, she love it. She say my finger long and it come up for her. She say I keep it spinning like it and that. She don't know when she screaming, she don't know when she they shout. The way I lick a thing, she think I belong to man. The way I lick a thing, she think I be animal. The way my thing the sweet, it be like a tequila. The way I make her feel, it be like animal.
We're playing tonight. What? Stop it! Calm down. Who's ready for rock and rumble tonight? Where my money at? Watch it!
I get pass and dollar. I come here to chop life.
Who's spending the money tonight?
I know that wahala.
No trouble.
How much is a billy? Money we dey spend for that time. Oh yeah, I know see them go play on my down.
Okay.
I'm still a winner. Me never let them play on my banjo. Them inna, oh na na. Don't know why they play on my downfall. But winner them go play on my banjo. Never. I got the reason I got so much to give. Shower the blessings on my cup to you. I know they give you man more than what you need. Cause they see the vibe they have to give. I really telling me to pose for me. I rather believe I don't told you. But you know see me so cheap.
Watch out!
I know see them go play on my down. I'm still a winner. Me never let them play on my banjo. Oh na na. You know why they play on my down. But we never play on my banjo. Never. Original, don't matter. Don't know nothing. The moment you see now, number one papa, hey, original Batman. Baby, I'm on I don't. They don't know. Baby, my man. Feeling me on the night, I swear. You are like the oxygen I need to survive. I'll be honest. Love me, baby, but I am so upset. I want to chop your mouth. Never did it back at this. When I'm make us, when I'm love one thing, when I make a bad man. blessings. I never miss. I've been smashing, I've been killing everything. From the Ikeja to Oju Eleta Beach, to the many places that I've never been. Remember this, I'm a king. I'm a legend and I'm making, I'm a champion. Remember this, I'm a king. I'm a legend and I'm making, I'm a champion. Remember this,
Life is not easy, my brother. And you put me and in my life. If I take people my distance, they have me check. God, it ain't us. Now I'm not living on you now. Until my smile and they be just like they see us struggle. Love the best. Life is not easy, my brother. And you put me and in my life. If I take people my distance, they have me check. God, it ain't us. Now I'm not living on you now. Until my smile and they be just like they see us struggle. Switch! Wanna make a ginger, give me key, conqueror. I got your picture, love. Anytime I go, just come up with my love. So they do like money. You want make a ginger, give me key, conqueror. How about your picture, love? Come make a show you banana. So they do like money. If you want make a ginger, give me key, conqueror. I got your
Hey, who's in love tonight? Who's in love tonight? Show me your lady. Where my baby at? Where my baby at? Switch! Somebody call text to the DJ booth one time. Touch it, bitch.
I gave you all you needed. I know I can lie. I feel it coming. Tell me something exciting. I tried to teach you, but I need some lessons. I need to give it up. I tried to live, but I know. I don't know I gotta want. Turn me out of my mind. You need no other body. You need no other body. Only you, only you feel my body.
1, 2, 3, switch!
Confused. Tell me why you get confused, baby. The way you do attractive, and the way I'm up for you, you get like magic. The way you get me every day, and I know if you come another day. I go to for you, my baby. Get up with you, baby, you go baby.
Sing it!
Body say that you in my mind. Say you know me outside of the line. Boy, I know you run away with you fly away. Body say that you in my mind. Say you know me outside of the line. Boy, I make you fly away with you fly away.
Who's calling my phone tonight? What? Gospel. Family. Roy. Kid. What's the mix? Hey! Where is your abule? I come from the city, boy. Alternate sound.
This is another Tolio. Oh, yeah, bigger, man. Make I tell you what can happen for a bullet. Go this big party inside my bullet. I went there with my best friend Kule. Kule them there with his girlfriend Shile. Ghetto girls them they like Takasufi. So many pretty girls they in that one. I just the one that said which can party everything yakba, everything there. Oh shit, I get many girls with them they come from away. AJ boys that they like to throw away. Almost he go be, almost he go be.
What? What? We getting ready tonight. I told you we ain't playing tonight. Alternate sounds, DJ Big. What you say? What you say?
Limited. Please come up on stage, ma'am, for special. A round of applause for her. Please, as we are eating, let us be clapping too. No vex, I beg. Also, I would love to invite on stage Fiscal Travel. Fiscal Travel, a round of applause for her. My sister from another mother. Please celebrate her. Also, for special recognition award, I would love to invite Elena Travelways. Elena Travelways, please come up on stage. Helena. Thank you. Please celebrate them. I know we are hitting, so sorry, please. Just celebrate. And TBS Food and Catering Services. TBS Food and Catering Services. Please come up on stage. TBS Food. Oh, now she serves us this food. So celebrate her, beg. If you know you enjoyed the food, please celebrate her. A round of applause for her. So right now, I'll hand over to the convener for the special recognition.
All right, so this is going to be take like 30 seconds. These private sector tour operators and travel agencies join us in planning this event. Already, I have honored Ambassador Kayode, who is Tourism Plus. So these are the remaining organizers of this event that actively participated with us in making this happen. These fantastic looking ladies and gentlemen were on the road with me. We slept together. We had sleepless nights. We were on the road distributing letters, getting assets. 2 days ago, we were still following up on all our participants. So please join me to celebrate Ocean Views Travels and Tours. A round of applause to her, please. Thank you for making this event possible. I also have Fiscal Travels, the person who is responsible for 35 to 40% of the audience in this room today. And that is still going to help us secure some sponsorship post-event. She's owing us some money from our sponsors who have promised to sponsor this event. So let's commit her with this. Thank you, Fiscal, for making this event a success. Elena Travelways, she is the logistics director of the planning, driving us all around town to make sure that this event happens. The last but not the least that has made this event happen. The food you are eating, is it delicious? Is it delicious? The person who is responsible for the food that you are eating is none other than my queen, one and only. The bone of my bone, the flesh of my flesh, my other half, my soulmate, the MD CEO of TBS Foods and Kitchens, Mrs. Emmanuel Great. A round of applause to her, please. Thank you very much for making this event happen. I gave her a very ridiculous budget to make this happen. I told her this is how much I have. Make it work. And thank you very much for making this happen. And actually, sir, we started together, African tourism couple. We met each other at tourism and hospitality school. She used to be my student then, and now we are married. We have 3 boys, and we are doing tourism together. Now she's in food tourism. I am in sustainable tourism. What do you think? Thank you very much. I'm so happy. God bless you. So let's give these fantastic people a round of applause for making this event happen. Please kindly file back to your seat. Thank you. For people like you, make things happen. So without wasting any further time, we are going to go straight to award presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, one of the major highlights of this event is the Africa Sustainable Tourism Awards. We have identified certain organizations and certain people who have actively been pursuing the job of sustainable tourism. I'm going to hand over the microphone now to the MC to call out the names of these people. I will actually need a second microphone to do a short citation of these people. Engineer, I need a second mic. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Once again, please let's celebrate them. And a special shout out to TBS Catering Service. Oh my God, I'm so emotional right now. Like, oh my goodness. Please celebrate TBS and our great convener. A round of applause for them, please. That was wonderful. So if you are not in tourism, you are missing out. You never know where the Mr. Right is due. I just let me tell you. So right now, we're moving on to the award presentation. As we're eating, please let's listen to the name and let's come up on stage for your presentation. I would love to invite Alaji Nura Kanjiwa. Alaji DG Naihoto. A round of applause for him. Alaji Nura Kanjiwa, the Director General of Naihoto. I know we are eating, but please let's clap for them. Thank you very much.
Alaji Nura Sani Kangiwa is the Director General of the National Institute of Hospitality and Tourism, and he is being ably represented here by the Director of Tourism, Chief Elena. Please permit me to invite on stage the Head of Culture and Tourism at AU ECOSOC to present this award to DG Naioto, Alaji Nora Sani Kangiwa.
A round of applause for Honorable Kenny. A round of applause for him, please. The Head of Culture and Tourism, African Union.
I have the singular honor to present this award to no other person than one of the great Africans, a gladiator in the tourism, hospitality, and culture industry. He's a father and a source of inspiration to youth of this country. Alhaji Nora Kangiwa, Fellow of Institute of Tourism Professionals of Nigeria, who is being celebrated and recognized as a Sustainable Tourism Man of the Year in appreciation of his giant stride and outstanding achievements towards sustainable tourism in Nigeria. Without mincing word, I hereby present this award to no other person than Alhaji Nora Kangiwa. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. A round of applause, please. Thank you very much, sir. Congratulations to you. Please don't go yet, sir. We still need you on stage. Congratulations to you, the Director General of Nile Hotel. Okay, I would love to invite the National President of Institute of Tourism Professional in person of Chief Abiodun Odusowo, highly represented by Mr. Emmanuel, the Vice Chairman of Institute of Tourism. Ambassador Kayode, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Ambassador
A round of applause,
Kayode.
please.
Please, let's keep clapping until you
So
get
I
on
can
stage.
collect certificate home. I beg go.
So, the National President of the Institute of Tourism Professionals of Nigeria, in person of Chief Abiodun Odusowo, is ably represented here by the FCT Chapter Vice Chairman of the Institute, Honorable Kenny. I'd like you to step aside. Let me invite the representative of the Corp Marshal, DCC Dumanza, to come and present this award to the National President of ITPN, ably represented by Ambassador Kayode Abiodun.
A round of applause, please. A round of applause for him.
It's my singular honor today to make this presentation of award of recognition to Chief Beardun. And I want to say that this award will spur him to do more for the tourism industry. So on this note, I present this award to him.
A round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen.
Congratulations to you, sir. The
Chief
National-
Abiodun Odusowo is the Sustainable Tourism Personality of the Year. Alhaji Nora Kangiwa is the Sustainable Tourism Man of the Year. These two people have done wonderfully well for sustainable tourism, and we are spurring them on to do more. Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations to you, sir. The
All right.
National President of
Institute
of
for
Tourism,
Tourism Professionals. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Also, I'd love to invite on stage Ambassador Olamide Salami. Ambassador Olamide Salami for his presentation. A round of applause for him.
Please kindly keep clapping as we receive this great icon. The Ashofi and Ashoki designer. The
From
man
the
who
look, we shall
abandoned jeans and started wearing Ashofi.
From the look we know, congratulations to you, Ambassador.
So let me now invite the presence with dignity, Honorable Oba Olasunkanmi of the AU ECOSOC country representative to come and present this award. Let's keep clapping as he comes on stage, please.
Honorable Obala Sukomi
Honorable Oba Olasunkanmi is the country representative
of
of
African
African
Union,
Union, ECOSOC.
Once again, congratulations to you.
Congratulations. I believe this calls for more commitment. That is it. More is given to you, more is expected from you. So on behalf of the Institute, I present this to you. Congratulations.
Congratulations to you, Ambassador.
A round of
Olamide
applause,
Salami.
please. Ambassador Olamide Salami is being celebrated and recognized as Sustainable Tourism Fashion Personality of the Year. A round of applause to him. It's
Félicitations,
a
monsieur.
deserved award. Sustainable Tourism Fashion Personality of the
Of the
Year.
year, oh
So if you
my
want to learn
God.
how to use Asha and Asha OK to make a statement as an African, you need to talk to him. I said I wanted to catch up with him, but at a point I actually just relaxed and he's been celebrated. So this year, he did a fashion runway show of Asha design in Osun State. A round of applause to this fantastic young man.
Thank you very much. Once again, congratulations to you, Ambassador Olamide Salami. Also, I'd love to invite on stage Mr. Mohamed Kudu, Kantekest. Mr. Mohamed Kudu.
Let's
A round of
celebrate
applause,
Mr.
please.
Kantekest, our tour guide and YouTuber that has shown us some tricks to do more YouTube videos today. Please keep clapping until he gets on stage, please. Thank you, sir. Kindly permit me to bring to the podium at this time Ambassador Kayode Abiodun Adeshola, Vice Chairman of the Institute for Tourism Professionals of Nigeria, to present this award to Kante Kest as the Sustainable Tourism Tour Guide of the Year. A round of applause, please.
Congratulations to you, sir.
I have the singular honor to present this award to you as a Sustainable Tourism Tour Guide of the Year. And with this, we want to encourage you to keep doing what you know doing best and